We are so zoomed in. Hi, I'm Francis.
My name is Matt. Matt. Should I say Matt or Matthew?
This is our YouTube channel about
Us, our lives, our adventures. We have different adventures, do different fun.
Hi, I'm Francis.
And I'm Matt. And this is us.
And this is us. And this is our story of our engagement. Beautiful.
Ooh. Yeah. So,
We forgot to do the intro.
yeah, we took the video earlier.
Newbies.
Yeah, we're still getting used to this, but we'll get better as time goes on.
Yeah, you got that right.
Or doing
Yeah.
this.
So stay tuned for the video after
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, this is the intro now. Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys.
I spent a whole lot of money, and I'm gonna tell you how I did it.
Yeah.
Well, not just how I did that, but how I did everything. And I took this beautiful lady and made her mine.
Forever now.
Which is all mine, so back off. Alright, this is how it goes.
Here we go.
Story goes.
Story time.
Months ago, we were joking around saying, oh, let's get married, this, that, the next thing. And so that little joke turned into me actually saving money. And I did. I saved up enough money to get a ring, but before I did that, I had to talk to her father to make sure that I can take the money that I saved and go and buy the ring. He said yes, obviously, but her father is a very serious individual, man of power. And when I went and talked to him, I was expecting him to just like basically take me and throw me out of his house. But he didn't. I asked him and he looks at me and gives a half smile and says, sure, why not? That's what he said.
Thanks, Dad.
So after that, I actually went with him to the jewelry store. He knows the owner of the store. And I must have looked at, oh my God, over a dozen diamonds in different bands, and I had to pick the perfect one. I said, I don't like this one, I like this one. It was such a big process, and the entire time he's telling me, you don't want that one, you want this one. And so now like we're just like going at it. Moral of the story, I found the perfect ring. I had it built, and I obtained the ring on a Tuesday. As soon as I got it, I was like, I need to get rid of it. I need to give it to her. I can't keep this secret. I just need to get rid of this thing. Give it to her because my heart was just beating out of my chest.
Oh,
No, that's
romantic.
a lie.
So romantic.
That's a lie. So I devised this plan. I was gonna take her to the same place we went to on our first date. We were gonna set the same table, and after dinner, I was gonna propose, and it was gonna be beautiful. That Tuesday, after we finished dinner, Francis looks at me and says, what do you want to do for dinner tomorrow? I was like, well, why don't we go out to eat? Now, prior to that, we agreed that we weren't going to go out to eat dinner because it's a waste of money. We'll just cook at home, be done. So she said, well, what about the agreement we made? I was like, yeah, well, you know, it's hot. We don't want to cook. She says, okay, we'll go out to eat. So the day of, now Wednesday hits, and the entire day at work, I'm pacing around. Like, this has to be perfect. I leave at lunch. I go to the restaurant. I tell all the waitstaff there, I said, I'm proposing tonight. This is how I want to have it. We got to sit at this table. She needs to sit here. I'm going to get a bunch of rose petals. I'm going to lay them down behind her. I'm going to get down. It's going to be a beautiful thing. All the guys that worked there were on board. The entire restaurant was in on it. Getting the rose petals. I went to like 6 different stores. Nobody had rose petals, so I'm freaking out. I just wanted the plastic ones. Well, they didn't have those. So I called my mom. I was like, Mom, I'm in trouble. I need help. She says, go buy a dozen roses and take the petals off them. Oh my. That's what I did. So I went to Stop and Shop and I got a bouquet of white roses because white's elegant, it's beautiful. Everyone likes white roses. I mean, you get red roses too, but was it Valentine's Day? No, I'm proposing. This is a serious event. We need white rose petals. So I bought a bouquet of white roses. And I was like, well, I gotta put these petals in something. So I went to the produce section and I nabbed one of the plastic bags and put it in my pocket. Paid for the roses, went out. Now I'm in the Stop and Shop parking lot, ripping the petals off these roses. This lady pulls up next to me and she just gives me a strange look like, what are you doing? And I just smile like, how you doing? And I'm like ripping the rose petals off and putting them in the produce bag. And I put them in the trunk and I said, don't die. Finally get home. Frances is not ready. Of course, why would she be? I'm rushed. I change real quick, get washed up, clean up, wash the day off. I got out of my work clothes into nice clothes. I cleaned up, I showered, I did my hair. She's still not ready. I got my entire wardrobe. I'm like, come on, let's go, we gotta go. Now, side note, I already contacted one of my friends, and he's a professional photographer. I said, I need you to be there, I need you to sneak in there and take the pictures of the event as it happened. He says, not a problem. I said, be there like, I don't know, like a little after 6. No problem. I get home, I text him, I said, push it to 6:30. No problem. Frances is getting ready. I'm like, come on, let's go. She's like, what's the rush? Why are we rushing? I was like, no, there's no rush. I was like, I just want to get there. I'm hungry. I worked all day. I want to eat. What she doesn't know is I got this entire thing. My mind is exploding at the moment. So I text him again. I was like, why don't you push till 7 o'clock? He's like, okay, that's fine. Frances finally gets ready after changing her outfit like 6 times. I may have changed my shirt a time or 2, but we're not going to talk about that. So we finally get ready to go. I slipped the ring in my pocket. And I got this big bulge in my pocket with the ring box. I'm trying to cover up my shirt so no one could see it. And so we finally get to the restaurant. And now I didn't plan this part, but we're down the road. I'm crossing my fingers. I'm like, let's get front row parking. Sure enough, come around the corner. There's an open front spot. And she looks at me. She's like, what's going on? I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, you just said you want a front row spot, and here it is. I had nothing to do with that. Mm-hmm. But that's just how the universe works.
Yeah. I believe you now.
All the planets were aligned.
I believe you now, but at the time, suspicious. That's when my suspicions really started to rise.
Suspicious. So we parked the car, which is ideal because the rose petals were in the trunk. We walk in the restaurant. This place is packed from head to toe. Packed. The waiter comes up to us. Do you have reservations? I said no. He's like, okay, well, we got a table for you. Come this way. Frances, once again, the eyebrows raised. She's like, this place is packed. And they gave.
What are the odds that the table we had our first date at was the only available table that day?
Well, who would have thought? It's just.
Now I'm really suspicious.
Weird things happen.
Okay.
So we sit down. We order the meal. And first thing that happens is the waiter taking our order. Well, he almost knocks over her glass. Mm-hmm. That was the first thing.
And my wine. He takes the menu and my wine almost tumbles over onto my dress, which was yellow. Everyone thinks it's white in the videos and pictures. It was yellow.
Yellow dress. It would have been red. It would have been orange. Whatever red and yellow make orange, right?
Sure.
Okay. Then another waiter knocks over a bunch of menus that were on the table next to us. That falls on the ground. And he's like, these people are acting weird today. I was like, what are you talking about? Everyone's being fine. As that happens, the owner of the restaurant knocks over this glass of ice off another table next to us. And I was like, okay, maybe I don't know. So they're busy. They're rushing around. At the same time, I'm like, oh my God, this is not gonna work. At that time, I didn't know this, but the owner took all of the wait staff, pulled them aside, and said, don't go near that table. None of us are gonna screw this thing up. And so my plan was, after we finished dinner, before dessert, I was going to go to the bathroom, and that's when I was gonna have one of the waiters come over, distract her, so I could distribute the rose petals, and then get down on the knee and do the thing. Well, that time comes. I get up, I go to the bathroom. He comes over, starts distracting her. I get halfway to the door. I was like, my keys are sitting on the table. My car is locked. The rose petals are in the trunk. So I'm pacing. I don't know what I'm doing. She's being distracted by this guy who's talking to her about absolute nonsense. And the owner's like, I can go over to the table and I can grab your keys without her knowing. I was like, she notices everything. I was like, you guys almost screwed this up already by knocking everything over. He's like, I got it covered. Don't worry, we're not gonna knock anything over anymore. I was like, well, thank you for that. And so I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna go back to the table. So I get back to the table. At this point in time, my friend who's a photographer is sitting there waiting, and he knew the cue, and so he comes back and sees me with no rose petals, and he's like, he like hides his camera even more. And even the waiter, I was like, and he's like, all right, yeah, whatever. He takes our dessert order. We order like, what was it, apple pie or
strudel?
Apple strudel and 2 espresso martinis. I am thinking, how can I get everything to work without saying I have to pee again? Because I just peed 30 seconds ago. I didn't actually pee, but she thought I did. So I'm thinking. The dessert comes. I take 2 bites. As I look at her with the most sincere look on my face, I look her in the eyes and I say, Frances, I didn't poop today. and she's like, okay. I was like, I gotta go right now. And she says, now? Here? She's like, can't we just wait until
I was like, I don't have to eat this dessert. We can go home and you can poop at home.
I'm like, no. I have to go right now. It's here. It's like, it's right there. I need to go right now. And so she's like, all right, then go. And so, but before I did that, I slipped the keys in my pocket. All nonchalant, you know. I know when to notice. And so I get up and I scurry out and I tell everyone, I'm like, go. It's happening. And so between the dining area and where the bar is, there's this wall and there's this window. So I'm like running, I'm ducking underneath this wall to my car. The people at the tables are looking like, what is this dude doing? And I'm like hiding. I run out to my car, I grab the rose petals. I shut the trunk, I run back in all crouched down, and I start distributing these things behind her, these white rose petals. They weren't dead, by the way. They were nice and alive and moist. But the waiter's talking to her again. And as I'm doing this, I could see people are starting to get attention. This table next to us, there were these 4 older women there. And they're just like looking at me, and I look at them and go, and then as soon as I do that, then the phones come out, and they're like, hey, keep going. And so I start doing all this. I get it all spread out nice and nice. I get the ring out, I look at it, I hold it, and then I get down and I wait. This guy's still talking to her about nothing, and so I'm like, come on, let's go. And he finishes up. Now, the entire restaurant is silent. You could drop a pin and hear it. And so I was like, well, this doesn't give it away. And so now she's just sitting there. I go, she turns around and it happens. And then we get up, we do the thing, and she says yes, and everyone applauds.
Claps.
And then the ladies are like, put it on the freaking finger already.
Yeah. They're like, put the ring on it. Put a ring on it. So that's my favorite part of the video.
Yeah, and my friend got all these pictures, and it was great, and it was a good time.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
And it worked. Everything worked out. It was a beautiful time.
And I said yes.
And she said yes.
And now we're engaged.
Yeah, that's it. Now we're engaged, and I've invested my life savings into your finger.
You did good.
I did pretty
story.
good. I did pretty good.
It's a great story.
Yeah, it is a great story.
Funny. Nothing like pooping or having to poop.
Listen, it was the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
That was all I got.
It's great. It's so good.
It was spur of the moment. Listen, you can't control. You gotta go. Everyone poops.
Everyone poops.
And some of us are just better than others, and that's I gotta go.
You're good.
Yeah, pooping in public places will get you engaged. Take that down, you know.
I don't know about that. Yeah. Good job. Great story time.
Yeah, thank you. So.
That was great. I was maybe 90% sure that he was gonna propose to me that day. 90%.
I was trying to play it off, but
With each new thing happening, the percentage increased. With the staff acting weird and the table and even going out to eat on a Wednesday night after we agreed not to.
listen, it was hot.
Suspicions were high. But I told people that I was surprised. Just because it's cute. You did a good job.
And now I'm happy. And now we're gonna get engaged. Well, we are engaged.
We
already
are
got
engaged.
engaged. Now we're gonna get married. That's us.
That's us.
That's our little story. My story, our story. My story.
Great. I love you.
I love you. See? I told you. I told you, it's sticky. Look at this. It's all over.